I guess this is some sort of follow-up to some of the Hasan dog allegations. If you guys didn't see, go check out the previous video on the ChazmaN Live channel. Last week in our ChazmaN Live, I did a reaction to a lot of the Hasan dog or abuse allegations that was going on there. We did a whole hour talking about it or whatever it was. So that's my guess. We'll jump into it. I feel like I'm explaining too much. Here we go.
DEXP today. We are going to be talking more about Hasan because this is the story that never ends, and specifically about some of his close friends who have, I wouldn't say completely taken a stance against him. Ludwig, more than QTCinderella, for sure.
Oh, Ludwig? Okay, that's interesting because I would think Ludwig is the one that would be the most lenient with Hasan. I've always thought that QT is the one that, would be a little bit more strong in her beliefs or whatever when it comes to Hasan, but sounds like it might be the opposite.
But I want to examine kind of what...
Oh, maybe it's the opposite because QTCinderella is the one that didn't really defend Hasan super hard here. So maybe Ludwig, being the defensive good boyfriend or good husband, is coming off as strong to just defend her as hard as he can.
Said and how people are responding to it. So I just wanted to look over all of that and unpack it because it is all very interesting. So let's just go back, and a lot of you have probably seen this, but just for the sake of telling the whole story, let's go back and see the first quote-unquote proverbial shot fired
good coffee.
From QTCinderella. And this clip had a lot of impact, I will say, because it really put a pie on a lot of people's faces who were defending Hasan. Take it away.
So this is the one, yeah. This is the clip where she was I don't know who these people are. I think this is the FaZe crew from what I remember hearing. I don't know much about FaZe Clan, FaZe crew. I believe they're still a big thing. They have a FaZe house or something. I believe this is where QTCinderella is, and she's hanging out with that crew. And yeah, she kind of just she's not even that mean to Hasan. She's just she's like, yeah, I saw it. It was a shot call or whatever. You know what I mean? The one thing you got to know though about Hasan and that fan base or that audience is any slight to Hasan is the biggest deal in the world. So just keep that in mind. Even if she just says, oh yeah, he doesn't do his laundry, that often. Any subtle, mild slight against him is oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. We attacking you. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not inherently surprised by something like this. So let's see. You'll see what she's, and she doesn't say anything crazy.
Seen the dog get shocked. That's my take.
I've
never seen the
What
dog
about the
get
clip
shocked.
though?
The clip is insane.
Okay.
The clip looks awful. He has a vibrating collar, and it looks like I've seen it. Guys, I'm a psychopath. I love dogs. Okay.
No, I gotta correct you there, cutie. That doesn't make you a psychopath. Loving dogs.
Yep, she already she's already and she's best friends with Hasan, her and her husband. So you can already see the seeds are getting planted where she's not hard, she's not trying to roast him, but she clearly legitimately loves dogs most, we're dog owners. She's just saying, hey, listen, it looked bad, yes, and you know what I mean? She's being about as nice about it as a friend could be when your friend does something wrong. Problem is Hasan's a big baby, and you can't ever, even if you're friends with him, you can't ever you can't ever say anything wrong about him.
That makes you awesome and regular. The psychopath is the one electrocuting the dogs.
He has a vibrating collar, and it looks like I've seen it. Guys, I'm a psychopath. I love dogs. Okay. You've seen me bait my dog. No, it's just so annoying because people have made it so much better. I'm in his house. I looked at the collar. The collar is taped.
All right, I got it moving too fast. I got to slow this down since we're watching in live action. Live action.
Taped off where I think there would be prongs.
Yeah.
There's no zap. There's only a vibrate function.
Yeah.
So I would agree to that. If I didn't have my own collar and I put it over my hoodie and shocked myself on level 10 and it almost took off my neck.
No, there's no shock. The electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing.
This is very interesting because I think a lot of Hasan fans perceive this as an attack. What I see is just
So it sounds like Ethan's gonna say that, but it almost sounds like, in a way, she's kind of not really defending him, but in a way, she's also defending him. So it's like, she's kind of like, she's saying, yeah, Hasan has a collar that shocks, but the prongs were in it, therefore Hasan didn't shock his dog. When it's like, she's technically defending him on the thing that most people are that most critical of him on, is the fact that it's obvious your dog got shocked. Your dog jumped and screamed in the air when it got it jumped and screamed for a reason. What did your dog just, out of pure happiness, it just jumped and went, ah? You know what I mean?
Someone who is put into this position by Hasan because he's perpetually lying. Where
That's how happy the dog was. The dog was
telling what happened.
It was in pain from so much happiness.
In a sense, to defend herself. Because, like, why should she, someone who's honest and has a good reputation and, you know, is not trying to lie about animal abuse and this kinds of stuff, why should she have to lie, right, about what she knows? So this is someone who's just being honest. I don't believe she's trying to attack Hasan, but she's just saying what happened. And this was very impactful because a lot of people were saying there was no tape. It was impossible to cut the prongs off. You guys have seen it all. It's ridiculous, right? The amount of coping. Now, the one thing they're missing in this clip is that the electrocution prongs, they just twist back on. Also, I'm pretty sure you would still get shocked even with just the screws. So
you want to find out?
Like, who are you fooling, said Reese Tiki. Yeah, it's again, if you go back and watch the video, man, like, there's only one thing that would make a dog leap up in pain and yell because you got something on it. Like, what dogs don't just make a sound like that. Like, as someone who's owned dogs his whole life, a dog doesn't do that. I never seen a dog yelp to express joy, said Veronica. Exactly.
Yeah, actually, we could. I mean, that's a good test to run. We don't need to guess. I am the resident expert on the educator.
Oh yeah,
Mini.
they bought. This
so
is the exact.
We have the device. Okay.
He's gonna say it, but this is the exact device that Hasan has. They went out of their way and bought the exact model. This is it from Amazon. It's called the Educator.
Now, what QTCinderella is saying, and what she's saying, I 100% believe. Right? She just doesn't. She's not an expert on this e-collar like I am. So we're gonna twist these off. Right? Get the overview. Good. We're gonna take these off. Okay. Okay, good. And you can see there's these two little nubs. Now, reminder, these are made of
unbreakable.
This is unbreakable diamond.
A carbon fiber composite material.
It can't be
unknown to man.
It can't be broken.
Can't be broken.
It's literally impossible. So I'm not even going to try. What I am going to do is see if I can still get electrocuted with the with just the screws. I'm put it on a 10 out of 100. Okay.
Place.
You have to touch the red dots together to activate it.
Red is.
The dots are touching. I'm getting a flashing red signal.
Okay.
Oh, now we're green.
Red is.
Do you see the protocol, the safety protocols involved in this? Okay, so I've got it over my arm.
Uh-huh.
And let's see. Do the unbreakable NASA screws electrocute? Let's find out. I don't feel anything.
Huh?
Let me turn it up.
Crank that shit.
Is it on me enough? Oh, yeah, it's on. It works.
You feel it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was thinking
It's
10
pretty
was kind of
painful,
low.
too. It feels exactly the same, to be honest, as with.
Because
I think
the point of taking them off is not to remove the shocking function. It is to change out the sizes of the prong.
Yeah, the purpose of the prong is just to extend the shocking capability. It feels exactly the same, right? And as Dan said, yeah, you unscrew to put on different sizes, right? So QT is speaking just from a place of ignorance, which I mean with all respect.
To be fair, there is one thing that I don't know if anyone's talked about, but Hasan could have the excuse, because in the clip when Hasan shows off the thing, it's got tape on the back of it. And a lot of people were saying, I mean, this is on Hasan. He could have used this as an excuse. But if he would have used the excuse that, like, hey, listen, the prongs are taken off. I've got the collar on the dog. And the tape is on there. The tape on the back is electrical tape, because it was black. He could make the argument that I put electrical tape on the back of it to absorb the shockness from the prongs. You know what I mean? That could have been an excuse he used, where he's like, hey, listen, it's got electrical tape. There's no shock. Haha. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not something he ever said, but that's just me spitballing as to, like, it's black tape. He could have fell back on that. It's electrical tape. No shock. I don't know. That's just me.
she doesn't have this, right? So I've tested
I don't know if it was ever
is
proven
still,
if that was
fully
electrical tape
functional,
or
right?
whatnot.
So there's QT throwing casting the first stone, as they say. And then this really took a lot of people by surprise.
You see, I'm better at coming up with excuses for crimes. Or not a crime. We don't know if he committed a crime. I'm just saying I'm good at coming up with excuses. See? You gotta think.
Self included, Ludwig all of a sudden had some things to say on the situation.
Hasan shocked his dog. I have no fucking clue. I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based on...
My dad is crazy about dogs, and even he knew it was a shock collar. Well, I think everyone knew it was a shock collar. I don't think Hasan would say otherwise. I don't think for the most part amongst people who have seen the video, the question isn't whether it was a shock collar or not. The question is more, it didn't have the prongs, it didn't have the tape. Was it, I think the question is more how much shocking was it doing? I don't know. Clearly a lot, because the dog jumped in the air and screamed. Frantic Rose says, not say it's covering his phone number that he wrote on the black collar with black Sharpie. Oh yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that's why the tape was actually on there, was to cover up the information of the dog. Well, no. I'll disagree with you, because I do think, you see, it's hard to say this for Hasan because his story has changed like 4 times since doing this. I do think initially he put the black tape over it to cover that there were holes where the prongs were supposed to go. Because initially he wasn't saying it was a shock collar. Initially he was saying the collar isn't what hurt the dog. His first excuse was that the dog got its nail caught on the floor or on the bed and it yelped out in pain because it hurt its hand or something, or its paw. Then his story became, oh, it's not a shock collar, it's actually a vibration collar. And when he was making that argument, that's when he put the tape over the back. So I think he initially was trying to cover the prongs with the black tape so that people thought, oh, it's a vibrating collar. It doesn't have the prongs on the back of it. And that's what I meant, is when he did that, he could have made the argument, hey, it's a shock collar. Yes, you guys are right. But I took off the prongs and I had black electrical tape in between the back of it and the dog, preventing shock. That probably would have been his best route, other than just flat being honest when the whole thing first started. But that's not something Hasan's really capable of, is honesty. So, liars never get their story straight, says Veronica. No, indeed. I don't know what his story was after that. He's come up with like 4 different... It's like, come on, dude. We all know. All right. I zoned out for a second. That's how you zone out right there.
Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her. But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact.
So just like the simple act of acknowledging observable reality is like a radical notion if you're in Hasan's orbit. Like, this was somehow shocking to everybody to see Ludwig say, yeah, no, he's lying, right?
I feel like that shit is 100% a shock collar.
Yeah.
But I have no clue.
Right?
And I think when you come in and you say, oh no, you're gonna get the Hasan call now, I think like you are like genuinely pathetic. Like you are still pretending to live in a universe where it is like brave to speak out against Hasan.
I will say, respectfully disagree with him here, just by the fact that him and QT are now being dragged as Zionists in immediate response to describing observable reality. So again, like he makes the statement, I guess, to defend himself, be like, I'm not afraid to criticize Hasan. And also, you're insane, he says, if you think people care that I criticize Hasan, which was immediately proven to be not correct. And that, unfortunately, I have the feeling that they're both getting kind of a front row seat to what Hasan's audience puts people through when they cross him. And it should be quite obvious to people now who are paying attention that it was never about Israel, right? It was about criticizing Hasan. That's the only reason you would call Ludwig or QTCinderella a Zionist. This is madness. It's madness.
And I'll be honest, like, the one thing I've never got, I think the reason, like, I mean, obviously the Hasan fallout with Ethan was a reason why I stopped paying attention to him. But I do think if not for that, there would have been eventually, I would have stopped following him anyways, because I have noticed that like it's got to be so hard to be friends with the guy. You know what I mean? Like I've never understood why people like Ludwig and QTC and um he's got other friends. Who's the gay guy? What's his name? No offense, that's just how I remember him. One of his best friends is a gay guy, gay gentleman. Oh, I can't remember his name, but like I've never understood how you can want to be around someone like Hasan who like just can't be honest about anything. And like, don't get me wrong, I do think what I've been feeling like been noticing about his orbiters and people that are around him is, to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like he has any like. It feels like people just kind of, I guess in a way, it's a lot of like the Trump stuff, where it's like nobody actually likes Trump, especially the people around him, but they just know it's so darn easy to benefit off of him that all you have to do is just agree with everything he says. You know what I mean? Same thing with Hasan. I think it largely that is how it operates there, is where somebody like Taylor Lorenz and Denims or Mike from PA, any of these weirdos, I don't, they're not actually good at what they do, but it's just so easy if you just, excuse my language, dick ride 100%, and you just go with whatever this guy does and play defense for him 24/7. His fan base, he has such a huge fan base that like you just already have a built-in audience. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he doesn't have any actual friends. I do actually feel like maybe Ludwig or QT Cinderella, like those are probably actual friends of his, and the other two gentlemen, I can't remember their names. One of them was in content or a creator clash, and the other one was the okay, I feel weird calling him the gay gentleman. What's his name? I need to think of his name so I don't keep saying that. Let me Hasan friend. What's his name? Austin Show. There you go. I feel like those are probably his close friends. Like there's one guy, Austin Show, Ludwig QTCinderella. Like those are probably his close close friends. And then beyond those people, I feel like he has orbiters. That's when you start getting into the Taylor Lorenz, Mike from PA, Denims, all of those people. I feel like when you get to the orbiters, I feel like those people are only in it to benefit off of his audience or his huge reach and his fan base. Because again, all you have to do is like get semi close to him and defend him no matter what, and you have an already built-in audience and fan base. You already have a group of people, so you know what I mean. It just to me it comes off as that simple. And again, I draw similarities between that and the Trump stuff because like there's so many people that are around Trump that have talked crap on him in the past, and yet they're still a part of his administration. Look at someone like J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance called him Hitler. What was it, years ago? And like now he's like his vice president. It's like, yeah, sure, he likes you. Look at Marco Rubio. Clearly, you know, there's so many people a part of. I don't think anyone actually likes them, but when someone is so easy to like benefit off of, unfortunately, I think Hasan and Trump, that's the kind of thing you get. You know what I mean? I don't know. Not to get into politics. I try not to.
Ludwig continues. He says about Hasan, we're actually not.
Yeah, think about it. If some of these people are getting enough money to pay their bills, simply like you got to put yourself in their shoes. If you could get to the point where you could make your bills be paid every month just from defending someone, like would you do it? I think a lot of people have been or would. Not saying everyone would. Obviously, there are people like me who are excellent people and have values and ethics. But like, I mean, I would never do it just because I think that's kind of a crappy way to exist, you know, to ride for somebody no matter what, just because you benefit off of them. But I don't know, what am I saying? I'm
Even
dragging.
Trump, he says.
Let's keep watching.
Interesting. Let's hear him out.
Coming clean politically, I don't know if you guys know much about me. I share probably a decent amount of politics with Hasan. Not everything. I'm not a socialist. I like making money. I'm a fucking CEO here. But, you know, some other...
Just to be fair, that is a big difference for them.
Or maybe more social issues, sure. I'm also not even friends with Hasan. Legitimately, I'm not. He's not someone that I invite to, like, my birthday or things like that. He's someone I've done streams with.
So now Ludwig... Now Ludwig is saying they're not even friends? I thought they were good friends. Maybe it's just QTCinderella that's friends with Hasan. This is new. This is new news to me. So now people are... Is he legitimately not friends with Hasan, or is he just backing away from Hasan? This is interesting. Oh, this is getting spicy. I thought they were like BFFs. Huh. Fascinating.
I think it's fair and a healthy thing to acknowledge, right?
Sure.
Knowing this, you know, parasocial quagmire that is Twitch, to be like, yeah, listen, we're colleagues. We work together. We made fun content together. But I don't talk to him. I don't know him. You know what I mean? I don't even invite him out on my birthday. You know, people assume. I assumed, well, basically because of their interactions online, that they were friends. Also, he does a podcast with his girlfriend.
But we're not bored.
QTCinderella. But it's nice to say, hey, you know what I mean? These people.
Dang, random bombshell, says Skylar. Yeah, that's very odd to me. I thought they were friends. So, again, because I'm Chaz, my brain immediately goes to, I just mentioned it, are you legitimately never been friends with him, or are you just saying that because it's really easy right now? This is probably the easiest it's been to, like, break ties with him. I don't know. I'm curious about that.
People they're not all best friends, right? And sometimes one of them does something really fucked up, and you got to say something, or you look dumb. Pop off, legend.
My boys are fucking Slime, Aiden, Nick, the people that I hang out with actually on a week-to-week basis. When I retire, I will never speak to 95% of the streamers I collab with again. Hasan is part of that group. That's a fact. This is just the reality of life, okay?
I mean, that's kind of true of all jobs, right? When you work at a job, even for a long time, when you leave, you probably stay in touch with like one or two or, you know, a few people. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, you know, you might see them on the...
See, I think that's a terrible thing to say. Everyone in my chat right now are all my forever friends. See? I'm not like Ludwig. He doesn't appreciate his friends. I appreciate all my friends, and will always will. I'm being annoying, of course.
Stream, be like, hey, nice to see you. How are you?
You see him, or you talk to him once every few years and catch up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, for the most part,
you don't think about that.
I don't speak to the vast majority of people that I've worked with in the course of my life.
Well, are you in touch with the California Pizza Kitchen people?
Sure. Unironically, two of my best friends I met.
Is that right? There you go.
Yes.
See, friendships are forged and love is forged at the restaurant.
Yeah, me and Lena met at the Lava Lounge.
There you go.
Become a waiter, man. It'll shape your whole life.
Yeah, but I worked with a lot of people.
Yeah,
there,
he said Veronica Roast.
You know what I mean? It's very normal to not.
So this is good.
Keep up.
I think this is a healthy dose of reality.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm being jokey, but like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I grew up in a world of like professionalism and having a healthy separation of like of being responsible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hate to say it. I have a very like corporate mindset when it comes to friends and family. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've always been good with like. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I've grew up working in multiple managing businesses and stuff, and like stopping by a Denny's on the way home says, "Oh, Denny's sounds good right now." We have an IHOP that's literally getting built right outside our house. I can't wait for that to get built. I don't know. I've always felt like a healthy distance between like, not saying I intentionally like something that I notice a lot of like people get in trouble with is responding to like DMs with fans and people who appreciate them, and I've always felt that like that's a very I don't know, very tricky thing, very tricky thing to do. Like if you guys were, not saying you should, don't try not to, but like if any of you were to message me, you'll notice like I probably would be very like, hey, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've always had that like separate friends from work, says Veronica. Yes, I've always been very much like that, where like most of my best friends, I mean, I have made really good friends at previous jobs, but I don't know. I feel like the older I got, the less friends I've made at jobs. Honestly, all the best friends I've made have been at my first job. Like some of my best friends from my first job. My last few jobs, I don't think I've made like any friends other than maybe one or two people. So I don't know. Maybe it's because the older you get, the more you're able. It's easier for you to like take a step back and be professional. I don't know. I think especially for, gosh, I feel like I'm rambling. I ramble a lot if you guys notice, but I think since I've kind of treated ChazmaN, anything ChazmaN related, as more of a business, I've especially built that because I'm so worried about like if I ever get to the point where this is like a full-time thing where I can like make a lot of money doing this. I just like everything I do is to make sure that I don't ruin that, if you know what I mean. Like the last thing I want to do is have any controversy. Like when I shock my dogs, I make sure they're in the other room. Is what I'm saying. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
For some of the parasocial.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm rambling.
Heads.
I think I'm tired.
Connor,
We've been on here for 3.5 hours.
Speak with after, but most streamers I wouldn't.
Shout out.
It's just true. They wouldn't go to my funeral. I wouldn't go to their funeral.
Okay, he's coming in a little strong.
You guys are free in chat. You guys are free in chat to let me know if I'm rambling too much. I feel like I do that.
You know, I
like that's probably true, but also
you know I'm having a good time when I ramble. I feel like that's when you know I'm engaged, is when I'm like just yapping, just being a yapper.
Intense.
I would not go to your funeral. I just want you to know, Hasan, if you died tomorrow, I would not go to your funeral.
I
was like, whoa.
I think that he meant like years from now when they're both old men, he wouldn't go to his funeral. Hopefully.
Yeah, in like 20 years. I guess he's not planning on dying tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
Go to their funeral. We would never speak again. The same thing that you would experience if you ever worked like a job and then retired from said job or moved on to a different job.
Right. Fair enough. Not a hateful comment, just like, listen, telling the truth. Because he's getting dragged, and I assume, frankly, that he was closer to Hasan and therefore kind of going out of his way to not talk about him. But he wanted to make it clear. And
yeah, for the most part, I agree with Ethan. I don't think what Ludwig said was all that inflammatory. Is that a word? No, that's a word. I don't know if that fits there. I don't really think what he said was all that bad. He's just basically, which is grand news to me, but it's basically just saying they're not friendly. Like they collaborate for content, and that's about it. Which that seems like a lot less than I assumed, but that's why I said, I enjoy listening to someone yapping. No, I like the yapping. It gives me something to listen while gaming, says Odin. Well, there you go. I appreciate you guys enjoying me yapparoony.
Rightfully so. Hey, listen, we're not friends. I'm not covering for him. It's just the way it is, right? But then he goes on to explain kind of a bigger point of controversy where Ludwig gets brought up quite a bit. This time when...
Now, the thing I had mentioned earlier about how militant Hasan's audience is. I was talking about how militant and how fervent they are about attacking people who don't back him up no matter what. I'd be very curious. I don't know if they'll get to it in this video, but I'll be very curious if Ludwig and QTC at all in the next day or two. I'll let you guys know in the Discord because I'll be watching this. I love this stuff, but like, I guarantee you they're going to get a lot of backlash. And that's probably what these videos are for. But I guarantee you they're going to walk some of this back because they're going to be like, oh crap, his audience is coming after us. Or they're leaving in mass. I guarantee you. I know it's coming.
Ludwig made a video in response to Hasan's infamous claim that streaming is a much harder job than any other 9 to 5. And Ludwig poked a little fun at him, and then the video goes down. So people understandably figured like he got the call, right? Let's hear what he says about it now, because this is the first time he's actually explained it.
I've lived through the lens of Hasan, and then you can talk about something else afterwards. Now, I wanted to talk about that because this comes from a video that I uploaded almost 2 years ago. I think it was end of February 2024. This is the reason why this happens. All right. I uploaded this video called Huge Streaming Drama. Now, the reason I uploaded this video is because it was February 27th. I had a sponsor and I wanted to make a lot of money. So I uploaded a video that talked about really not much. It was a filler video, but Hasan saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. I poked fun at Hasan.
Dude, this guy is stacked. He just got an AT&T little fucking blow up in the bottom corner.
Holy crap.
Always stays.
I just know, yeah, that is a... You're sponsored by AT&T? How do I get that? Like, come on, what, I gotta lose 60 more pounds? I mean, you got Red Bull and you got AT&T. Like, where, how come I can't even get one of the small companies? Come on. Come on, y'all. That's chat's fault. I'm blaming chat. You guys aren't active enough. I'm blaming you guys for my lack of sponsor. I'm kidding. Dude, how do you get AT&T? I don't think I've ever seen AT&T sponsor a streamer. Like, that's insane. Like, how much money does that gotta give you? Like, AT&T is a massive company. Like, Red Bull's fine. Red Bull's a slightly smaller company, but like, how do you, oh gosh, I don't even know how you get AT&T. That's crazy. Holy crap, I didn't notice that until now, says Skylar. Sobbing. No, I'm kidding. It's not your fault. It's your fault a little bit. Just a tiny bit. What is this today, said Lencho. Hey, Lencho's in chat. We have been getting into some mad drama and tea. This is by far the longest ChazmaN live I've done to date. I don't know how I'm gonna. I almost am making too much content today because this will take me a while to edit and put together all this highlights and stuff for the other channel, for the ChazmaN live stuff. What do we do to get this hate, Chaz? Said Reese Tiki. You didn't make me enough money. That's what. I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not kidding. No, I'm kidding. No. Yeah. I'm making too much content. This is gonna be a lot of work for the next week for me. Essentially, whoa, gosh, what did we even talk about today? We started off with, for almost an hour and a half, we talked about, gosh, what was even the first topic? Oh, the Emiru. First hour and a half, we talked all, because I didn't get to talk about the Emiru stuff with Twitch. That was like a large amount of the convo we did. Then we watched a couple other videos. Now we've been probably on this Hasan, Ludwig, and QTCinderella drama for like an hour. Rose crying, yeah. Yes, I appreciate your feeling bad for me because of how much work I'm making for myself now.
Being paid, man. He's got the freaking Red Bull sponsor, AT&T.
That's what I said,
bro.
Ethan.
Okay.
Yeah, AT&T and Red Bull. That's like, and he's got the freaking Red Bull fridge in the back for more ad. Like, come on, Red Bull, send me a freaking fridge.
Rhodes probably.
I'm as big as Ludwig, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm not as big as Ludwig.
Paying him too. Okay, Playboy, get it. Not jealous.
On to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor.
And he's on the Lakers. It's
and
incredible.
Bro.
Yeah, and he won an NBA championship.
Good job,
That's
Dan.
fucking
Funny
insane.
joke.
Called it a day.
And he works
Made
for the
some money.
Lakers.
Easy gig. Until Hasan reacted to it on stream. And then the video got a bit brigaded by Hasan fans who are upset. And the sponsors, not so happy these days. I don't know if you know this. When Hasan comes up for sponsored deliverables. So I took it down. All right. I uploaded the sponsor at a later date, and then I re-uploaded the video. But because of that, I inserted myself.
I didn't realize for the initial Hasan backlash that he got, I didn't realize sponsors came after him. That's kind of crazy. Because I almost I definitely would have at least been like, yeah, obviously Hasan's fan base and audience would come after him, but for the, I mean, I guess that would make sense for the sponsors too, because if you say something that upsets the audience, then if the audience begins to leave you, then like, why is the sponsor gonna stay with you if they know you're getting less viewership? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I kind of see that. It's still kind of insane though that a sponsor would be like, hey, you need to not talk about this. I mean, I guess if you were to like go. If you were to talk politics and you upset that, yeah, I guess I don't know why it's surprising.
That has been with me for 18 months. Bitch move, maybe, but I also don't care to die on the hill. I don't think I was like making a poignant statement about how I disagree with Hasan's politics. I think it was the equivalent of, haha, Hasan said 9-to-5s are easier than streaming. Anyway, check out this sponsor. So it's not like a moral hill that I was here to die on.
I know what he means. It's not worth getting, although unfortunately he did end up catching shit from everyone outside Hasan's fan base. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation there for him from the get-go.
But you guys kind of see how crazy it is, because again, if you weren't seeing, he's the initial thing, he was mildly criticizing his, well, now we know not really a friend. I thought they were friends. He was criticizing Hasan because Hasan was making the argument. He was being a baby as always, and he was saying, being a streamer is just as hard as working a normal 9 to 5 job. I remember when Hasan did that, and that became a big talking point. And all Ludwig was saying was that, like, no, I don't agree with you. You know, I think a normal 9 to 5. I think your job is easier than a normal 9 to 5. I'm glad I don't, but imagine living in a world where that gets a bunch of people mad at you for not dick riding for a streamer, for a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean? Kind of insane, right? I think that's insane. I mean, I feel like, I don't want to say I'm normal, but like I feel like most normal people would be like, no, I'd take being a content creator over working a normal 9 to 5 job any day of the week. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how pale my face is without my beard. I can't wait for Halloween to get here so I can get this costume done. I miss my beard. I feel like I'm pale. My neck is like so much darker. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm bringing attention to it.
That's why, and then again, this is why people avoid criticizing him, because they know it comes with a whole bucket of shit, right? And that his audience is relentless and will try to destroy your life potentially. I mean, in my case, that's definitely true. I don't know if they went that far with Ludwig, but definitely enough to make you feel bad, right?
Was, hey, I don't want to deal with the brigading from Hasan fans. I'm here to do this for a paycheck, so let me delete it. Was it the right move to make? Probably not, but it's the move I made at the time. It is what it is. I'm not that hung up on it. That was 18 months ago. And so, because of that, again, 18 months ago, I had dealt with people who now thought that, hey, Hasan messaged me, he made the boss call, I had to take down the video.
That's not what happened.
To
be fair, that is exactly how it looked, but I'm glad he's explaining, because it does change, just change a little bit for me.
You can believe me or not believe me.
Let's see. Salty in chat says, bro, if I could chill and play games and get money for it, yeah, that's better than 9 to 5. That's what I'm saying, dude. Look at me. I'm just chilling. I'm living the dream. I'm doing the streamer thing full time, content creator full time. Although I'm doing it because I have no choice. Let's see. Veronica Rose says, just like today, I scolded a 5-year-old, half joking.
Really don't care, but I swear on my mother's life, who I love more dearly than any human on this earth, that Hasan has never asked me to take down a video, and I did not do that because he asked me to.
Now, of course, I believe him, but what we kind of learned happened is that he got the boss call from the sponsor, who was harassed intentionally by Hasan's fans with the interest of making this happen. So, I mean, he didn't, but I believe him. He didn't ask him, but we kind of see how it's interesting to see how Hasan works his audience, and
he still essentially got a call from somebody saying, your criticism of Hasan is not cool. Whether it came from Hasan or not, that's still the point. Ethan's saying is that the point is still that it's impossible to criticize Hasan without Hasan either getting a hold of you or the sponsors of his or yours coming after you because you're criticizing him.
It didn't happen on everything. You don't have to believe me. I don't care. That just is the fact. You know.
So anyway, kind of an interesting look back there as Ludwig seems to be re-examining and explaining his long-time relationship with Hasan. So now that we've seen Ludwig's explanation, I'm curious to go back and see what actually happened. So I want to review what Hasan said that caused him to remove the video. He didn't actually need to call or text him. Hasan knew exactly how his audience would react to his live call-out of his supposed friend. Well, I guess Ludwig says he wouldn't even go to his funeral, so I don't know what that means, but Hasan called him his friend in this clip.
As a streamer myself for almost 6 years now, on how hard it really is. I'm kidding.
Oh, God. It's just like, what's funny is you haven't even addressed this again since then. I know. It's just an opportunity for every single person to be like, look, guys, I'm a content creator. I'm really privileged. Like, yeah, dog, we all are.
Here's the thing.
I didn't watch
just
any of
say
it.
you look dumb. You looked dumb.
Yeah.
You said being a streamer
solution.
is harder than a 9 to 5. I don't know what you meant, right? But like, just admit you looked dumb, bro. It's not Ludwig's fault. You said something dumb, and this is part of Hasan, the perpetual downfall of Hasan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah, Hasan, even to this day, even though 95% of the people on the interwebs said he was wrong and said, "No, that's an incredibly stupid thing to say. That your job isn't easier than a 9 to 5 job." Even though the entire internet is saying, dude, you're dumb. That's not true at all. He still can't. He can't admit to anything. I definitely think he has some, in my opinion, I definitely think he has some sort of, I don't want to say condition. What is it? Is it sociopath? What's a sociopath? Chat, what's a sociopath? What is it? What's sociopath meaning? In formal terms, someone diagnosed with antisocial personality. Maybe not sociopath. That's kind of that seems kind of like a more hardcore thing. Oh no. Yeah, that is a form of sociopathy. So the capacity for empathy and guilt, impulse for erratic behavior, disregard to social norms. That would be a social norm, would be thinking your streaming job is easier. No, I guess no. I don't know. A narcissist? There you go. That's probably a better word. What's a narcissist? Isn't a narcissist just somebody that thinks so highly of themselves 24/7? A narcissist is a grandiose self of self-importance and deep need for excessive attention and a lack of empathy of others. Entitlement, a belief. Oh, okay, no. This is exactly a belief in being special, arrogance, exploiting others for personal gain, exaggerate their own achievements, sensitive to criticism. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what he is. I've never seen anything so accurate for somebody. Oh, someone who lacks empathy and remorse. I'd say narcissist, Veronica. Yeah, I think narcissist is like the most obvious term. Yeah, streaming whenever you want is much harder than getting up from 5 to 6 in the morning and having to work by almost 2 to 3 p.m., says Reese. Yes, that's the argument everyone was grilling him for at the time, was like, dude, your job's not harder, right? Or getting grilled by customers. Yeah, I think narcissist is the best term.
Is his refusal to acknowledge anything, even something just as unserious, something that is completely.
I didn't want to say sociopath. Sociopath seemed more like
it sounded dumb, right?
A diagnosed condition, you know.
For every single person to be like, look, guys, I'm a content creator. I'm really privileged. Like, yeah, dog, we all are. We all talk about it all the fucking time. It just annoys me because like it's such a fake fucking thing to do.
Well, the annoying thing is that like. Is that Hasan is like admitting that like it's so weird. Like, I guess maybe it's that narcissist trait that I was just reading, but like his inability to admit that he was wrong. Because at the beginning of his sentence, he says, yeah, no, he almost agrees and says, you're right. But then immediately after that, he has to curve what he's saying back around to make himself sound right. You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's like, yeah, no, you're right about that. But I don't, it's this, and this. And it's like, dude, just say it was a dumb thing to say. Say you were wrong. It's very scary, I think, that type of personality. I used to know a narcissist. They suck so much. Yeah, he reminds me of Pirate Software, says Veronica. A little bit.
It's just literally using someone who you're friends with, like being maliciously clipped out of context to be like,
bro, it's not clipped out of context. You said something dumb. There's nothing out of context.
It's like no different than what Muda did. He showed the context though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the context.
Wait, hold on. You said it was out of context.
Literally farm off the fucking drama. Whatever. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? It's just.
I don't give a shit about this conversation.
Frankly, no video for Nick Marks from Ludwig. You know, because.
I think it's dumb. Okay.
Stream and these people have to deal with it all. It's like, it's odd that I have to just like sit here and be like, yeah, that's right, dude. Yeah, wag your fucking finger at me.
Bro, it's not that serious. How much more would you respect him if he was like, okay, to be fair, it looked bad and it was very dumb the way that I said that. I don't mean it. And anyway, move on, bro. But you're going to cry and shit and bitch like a child. He's so immature. I don't know how he's lasted as long as he has acting like this.
What I mean? Yeah, it's just, you're right. Communist, hypocrite, fucking.
Nobody said anything like that. Not Ludwig, anyway.
This bums me out more, honestly, than random dumb fucks online.
See, I would say I can't believe I used to like Pirate Software in retrospect. I shouldn't have really given him any attention. I used to like Pirate Software. I mean, I didn't watch his long form content. Where I liked Pirate was I really liked his short form content on YouTube when he first started, because I felt like, because, well, mainly it was just him talking about the intricacies and details of like game development and stuff like that. I used to like his opinion on computer and programming and stuff. But then like when he started getting into like when he the live streaming and video games and stuff, it got too much. Let's see. Lecho in chat says, "Wait, why is there so many reactions going on? Literally four dudes on the screen." All right, so I'll explain what's happening. Essentially, on screen right now there is the original video stream by that we're watching is a video of this guy, Ludwig, who did a reaction, or he was talking about someone he knew being this guy. So I'll start with me. So there's me in the down here reacting to H3, who's reacting to Hasan's reaction, everyone reacting to this guy Ludwig. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. The whole gang is here, said Veronica. I used to have Pirate Software in the background, so I was a bit surprised as Reese. Again, I liked his short form content. I didn't watch anything long form or any of his streams or of any kind. Don't you know Chaz reactor of a reactor reacting to a reaction? It's reactor reception.
That are just saying a whole bunch of shit about my family or whatever.
So he's planting the seed with his parasocial fans, and you know there are a lot of them. He has a big community on Twitter and TikTok.
We can all agree, though, my reaction is the best out of the four, see? What if I just started building, like, narcissist aspects? What if I started doing that? If I just started becoming, oh, yeah. I'm better than all these people. Maybe if I watch enough Hasan, maybe that's something that'll happen to me. Oh, what I was saying before is I think where the genesis of Hasan's narcissism is, to me, he strongly comes off as someone who's too online. I think that's what it is he's someone who's like online 24/7, and through streaming and being a content creator, he built a huge audience, got really famous, and when you get too large, that big to an extent, you can kind of live, to me it's obvious, you can kind of live in a world that you've created. So because he is like the big honcho of his world, you can be, what's the word? Oh, I can't think of the word. I don't know. You just have so many people agreeing with you on everything that like you can kind of just build a world where no one disagrees with you, and the people that do disagree with you, you can just ban them or block them. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's what he sounds like. He just sounds like someone who kind of just tailor-made a world where he's like the one that's right 24/7. And that's one thing I've never liked about social media in general is social media is so largely tailored to showing you what you want to see, not necessarily what is happening in the world. To me, it reminds me of like, I don't know if you guys remember when Trump and them during the election, when they were like, there were supposed videos of people in Cleveland, Ohio, like eating cats and dogs, and like and people were like, "Oh no, I saw this video of somebody eating a dog in Cleveland," and it's like no, that's your algorithm. Your algorithm is showing you some random video of some poor person in some other country doing something, and you just think that's happening because like on your algorithm, you know, you've gotten trained that like that's what you want to see is that somebody's eating a dog in Cleveland, Ohio, or that people are going to the. I remember when Joe Rogan got in trouble or got called out live because he thought that like kids are going to the bathroom in what was it called, in kitty litter boxes or something, in school bathrooms or something. Like, it's like, no, dude, like you're online way too much if that's what you're social media feed is like so crazy. If that's what you're seeing that happening in the real world, is people going to the bathroom in kitty litter boxes. Like, I don't know. But again, social media can do that because, you know, based on what you like to see and what you watch, that's what social media sites like Facebook and stuff are designed to do, is to, they want you retention. They want your retention. They want you to keep coming back. So what's the only way to keep somebody to keep coming back to your Instagram or your Twitter feed is to show you things that you keep watching. If they like the numbers say, if you do that, they're going to come back and keep watching. It's all about retention. All right, I'm spewing again. Where were we? I don't even remember what we were talking about.
They're like Hasan Abi heads Twitter and all this types of stuff, and he's like, you know, guys, he really broke my heart doing this. Ludwig, what a deep, utter betrayal.
Ona Salty says, I just use Instagram and YouTube, although Instagram still has random political stuff. Not as bad as Facebook, though. Yeah. I mean, the one I'm on the most is definitely Instagram, just because I do like funny videos and stuff. I mean, every now and then I'll go down a political rabbit hole or something, but like, when I don't inherently dislike social media. I feel like it could be fun and useful for people. I just think, like most forms of things online, is you have to be able to separate how people talk and react on there versus the real world. Like how people are talking to each other in a Facebook comment post is not how I'll communicate with some random person I strike up a conversation with at Publix or Walmart, you know. Like that's generally, well, problem is I feel like that's slowly starting to bleed into the real world. But like for the most part, for most of the time up until modern times, is like how you talked with somebody on the internet was not how you reacted in real life. You know what I mean?
I'm heartbroken, and I mean the result of that is going to be obvious, right? With all of these parasocial fans lurking everywhere.
The shit from Twitter doesn't do anything. It's not real. It's like mostly fucking bot farmed into oblivion, and it's like a right-wing shithole. It's when content creators who are liberal or have like a larger, broader audience, like an audience of real people, when they frame it in the same way that they see it off of Twitter, that is fucking... That actually does lead to real-world shit.
Of people thinking you're a dipshit? Is that what you mean by what? It's a clip of you, man. And I mean, this guy was on video electrocuting a dog, and he's still doing the same bit. So there's no reality that is concrete enough for him to deny.
But that is the reality, okay? And I'm not trying to fucking woe is me for somebody making 50K playing video games, but it does get even worse for some streamers. Specifically, today, it got a whole lot worse for a lot of streamers because they woke up and the website that they used to stream on, that they built their career on, that they made their community in, is gone. And that's what I actually want to talk about here today, which is the Twitch shutdown in Korea. If you
That's so whack. Oh my god.
didn't know that shutdown.
Look at him moping and crying like a bitch, dude.
What's he
Just
talking
fucking
about?
move on, bro. Like he wants his audience to harass Ludwig. He knows what they're like. Let me just look what they did.
That is something that interesting that Ethan's bringing up, is like, why is Hasan? Why else? Oh, weird cough. Why else would Hasan be on this dude's if he's not friend? So Ludwig was saying he's not friends with him, so that we know. But why? Why is Hasan like reacting to this video that he's so like annoyed by? He clearly has no interest in what Ludwig's saying, and like, I agree with Ethan. I think what he's trying to do is he's like, maybe he's trying to like apathy his audience into kind of like going over and talking crap to Ludwig now that Ludwig's talking junk on him. My opinion again, I don't know for sure. But like, why else is he just like, he's watching his content, he's like, oh gosh, this guy's talking about, it's like, dude, if you're so like not into what he's talking about, then go watch a different video. Why else would you be here other than you're trying to get your audience to like what do they call it when they, is it, I don't know, he's just trying to get his audience to just like go and criticize him or something. This is interesting. I remember when they had a podcast together briefly. Now look at them, says Lencho. Yeah, well, again, this whole genesis of this conversation was Ludwig saying how they were never friends, and he doesn't really care about it. They're not really friendly. And I think Ludwig was just doing that like pretty easily. Like he wasn't like attacking Hasan or something. I think subtly here, Hasan is about as passively trying to get his audience to go after Ludwig, but he's not directly telling them. He's just watching his content and he's like, oh, this guy, ugh, oh, he's talking about this. You know what I mean? Why else would you be watching this if it's not interesting to you, like, in the slightest?
Me. And everybody I know. This is his intention. There's no doubt about it.
Dude, come on, bro. Don't fucking farm me like that. Jesus Christ. That's
Farm
lame as
you?
fuck, actually.
Guys,
Like,
guys, I'm so upset. My best friend Ludwig just betrayed me in the most brutal way possible. There's a clip of me saying that streaming is harder than most 9-to-5s, but nobody...
And then when you look at his chat, Hasan's chat, you can see it says, Elwig, who cares? Skip the vid. Just stop watching this crap. Oh, it's clickbait. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty obvious what he's doing. Like, you can see what his chat is saying about
Nobody's allowed
Ludwig.
to talk about that, okay, guys? It's out of context, by the way. I never even said it. Just shut the fuck up, bro. Grow up. Move on.
he Franco'd you? No,
friend.
Philip DeFranco at least did an honest, like he did
Oh,
the, what do you
hold
guys
on. I
think?
missed that. There's more people. You saw some people saying F Ludwig in his chat.
At the end of it, but at least he did a fucking honest,
What else was he going to expect Phil Franco to do? Oh, so Hasan hates Phil, too. Okay, cool. You got to pick a side, Phil. It's me or Hasan. No more fence sitting.
and then fucking flipped it over to something entirely different and sold a fucking rocket
Ristiki
mortgage ad in the
says,
process.
Also, by the way, mentions the sponsor by name. You know exactly what he wants to happen there. It's time to lobby the sponsor, which, according to Ludwig...
oh, I see. Lencha was talking about the podcast with Hasan and Ethan. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a podcast a while ago. Leftovers or whatever it was called. So I'm
is
such
exactly
a
what
baby.
happened. The sponsor got upset
definitely
that Hasan was
screams,
calling them out and didn't want to be on the video anymore, which is exactly what Hasan wanted to
adult
happen
child.
by mentioning them by name.
I didn't watch any of it. It's irrelevant. It's gonna be fucking go away in like 2 days, and people like only the dumbest losers of all time will constantly be like, "Oh, are you having a hard time at your job?"
Are you
Over and
having a
over
hard
again.
time at your job, sweetie? It looks like you're having a hard day today, Hasan, and the hardest job ever, being a streamer. By the way, worth pointing out, Hasan has never had a real job in his life. He is the poster boy definition of a nepo baby. Oh no!
Don't make him responsible.
He definitely is a nepo baby. If you don't know, I know for a fact. Everyone knows for a fact. He started his job. I think his first job was over at TYT, the Young Turks, with his uncle, who literally owns TYT. They're a political YouTube channel, and literally, his first job was working at TYT under his uncle. His uncle works at Nintendo, basically. You know what I mean? I like his uncle. I actually like his uncle Cenk more than Hasan. I mean, I don't know much about his uncle, but I actually watched some of their stuff. So thank goodness they got rid of. I don't remember if they got rid of him or if he left, but thank goodness. I kind of like TYT a little bit now, but I actually haven't taken the time to watch any of them since lunch. It's all good. The leftover stuff with him and Ethan were like, it was good for the time. It was nice, fun political drama. They were just talking about all the Trump stuff 24/7, basically.
For an already trending subject, it's kind of lame.
So anyway, this is kind of just a little recap. I watched more than that than I expected because
Runacro says, so he literally never worked a day in his life. I don't believe so. His family was rich. His family's from Turkey, I believe. And I believe his mother was like a wealthy, I can't think of the name. A landlord? Not a landlord. Who's someone that sells you a house? It's a realtor. I believe his mom was like a big realtor in Turkey or something, and his dad was also wealthy. So like, he was born into wealth or whatever. He had money. I mean, you have to be born into money if you move over to America and at like age 18 or 17 or something, like over from Turkey. Like, how many people are just moving over to America, like from away over there? I believe he's a military dodger, from what I understand. I think his parents literally paid for him to leave Turkey to come to America because a lot of European countries and of the sort, if you don't know, many of those countries over there have mandatory military service. And I think he was supposed to go into the military for basic. They tell you just do a year or two and you get to go back and you don't have to do it much. But I believe he avoided doing that because his parents just paid for him to come to America when he was like 17 or 18. So it's like, oh, he's a military dodger. He, Nepo baby, never had to work an actual job in his life, complaining that his super lucrative streaming job is harder than a 9 to 5. It's like, come on, dude. I know way too much about him. I shouldn't know this much.
Kind of got sucked in there a little bit.
You can tell I'm
but it's good to
online
see the
too
whole
much.
context. XQC, of course, the king of all drama. This guy has the best Madden charts. He literally figured out TwitchCon disaster in just one beautiful drawing.
He solved the Middle East problem. You know, he said it with Israel-Palestine. He said they should just make Landia. Everyone just live there.
Make a new country.
Make a new country called Landia.
Full reset.
Like a Landia. Like it's just land. Like,
dang, only for basic, says Odin? What do you mean basic? Only for basic. You mean basic training, like military stuff? Not sure what that means.
I don't know how no one thought of that.
Let's send him in. Let's send him to negotiate. So anyway, Luna says Ludwig says Hasanabi's dog collar was 100% a shock collar. Quote tweet from Luna says, this guy's friends with a dude who made AI porn deepfakes of women, by the way. One of those women were his girlfriend. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a Hasan fan.
Oh, basic, like military services, Odin. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough to say. Yeah, I guess he basically dodged basic training or something. Whatever a year or two's worth of Turkish military training would have gotten him.
Defending Hasan's use of a shock collar by saying, well, you're friends with somebody who made AI porn. And this kind of boils down to all the defense you see of his fans.
Wait, that's such a weird thing to say. So this person, Luna, is attacking Ludwig because Ludwig said that the dog collar was 100% a shock collar. And this person, Luna, is saying, this guy is friends with the... So if you guys don't remember, QTCinderella had a friend of theirs, her and Ludwig, who made AI deep fake porn of his wife, QTCinderella. So this person's criticizing him for being friends with that person when they didn't know he was making that? That's such a weird thing to attack him for. He didn't know about it. What? They immediately, like, defriended the guy. They were like, oh, that's a disgusting thing to make. We don't want to associate ourselves with you anymore. That's such a weird thing to bring up. I don't know, Twitter's weird.
Kind of the cognitive dissonance of his fans is it's next level, because they're on one hand being like, it's not a shock collar. But then when Ludwig, who's very close to him, said, and his girlfriend says it's a shock collar, they go, oh, well, your best friend made AI porn. It's like, okay, well, like, different, right? Different topics. XQC said, so basically, we went from it's not a shock collar to if you say it is, I'm going to go after you for who you're friends with. The mind of a Hasan viewer is fascinating. Oh, also, reminder that your goat zaps his dog. All good, though. Quote tweeted by Harley Morenstein. GG, bro. Fucking, you got legends on your back.
So XQC's talking crap about Hasan a bit. And Harley Morenstein, if you don't know, you guys know who Harley Morenstein is? He's the Epic Mealtime guy. That's just funny. He liked that. Who remembers Epic Mealtime? I don't remember. That might be before your guys' time. No, I'm kidding. You have to be really young to not remember that. It was like the largest YouTuber at one point. That's like someone being mad at you for unknowingly being friends with someone who committed a crime. No, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly the situation. They didn't know they had a friend who was committing a crime. So, like, what's the problem? They were like, oh, that's not cool. We're not friends with you anymore.
Love Harley.
In fact, that's a crime.
You can talk about it anytime. I support that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Jew.
But then things got even worse for poor QTCinderella, who I really feel bad for. There is a rumor popping around that Aiden Ross and Asmongold were planning to make their own gamer streamer awards, which, if you don't know, is QTCinderella's thing. So of the year, the streamer awards. So this would be in competition, theoretically.
That's fascinating. So, yeah, QTCinderella has her own award show where she awards stuff to YouTubers and content creators. And that's fascinating, that because So Asmongold and Aiden Ross want to make their own award show? Okay. That's so weird. I mean, obviously that collides with QT's show. That's a very weird thing to want to do. Lentro says, I'm learning so much about these people right now. Wait till people make exposed videos of you, Chaz. Oh gosh, don't start with that. I don't know. I don't need people digging into my past. There's so much. There's so much. No, kidding. I don't know what are you gonna come after me for? I'm fat. There you go.
With her award event.
I
Asman
really
Gold
don't
Ross
need-
confirmed
I've-
streamer award show collab.
Oh gosh, what'd I press?
Here, Asman goes over some
Oh, I accidentally pressed something.
things.
I thought that
need to
was
be
me
figured out.
that did that.
Categories: hosting, getting people up there, production crew, judges, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, just everything?
Yeah, he's planning the event. In other words, thank you.
Help him set it up and co-stream it with him and everything.
Hell yeah,
if he wants
bro.
to. And,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You guys, at this point,
Why are there
get
two
on a
apps?
call.
What's happening?
Just get on a call, guys.
Why is there 2 Asmongolds on the video? Dude, there's 5 faces on screen right now. It's crazy. There's so much Batman. Oh no. Can't wait to see my favorite streamers receiving a golden cockroach award from Asmongold. Dude, that is funny. A golden cockroach award. That's pretty hilarious. That's a pretty good one. That's a good joke. Shout out Odin.
Yes, please, just get on a call. And listen, I hate phone calls. Just get on a call.
This is because they were bouncing back and forth via clips?
Yeah.
I see.
Come on.
Nah, we wouldn't do it at the warehouse. We'll probably do it in either Vegas or LA. We'll probably do the ceremony.
Wait, who's clipped and who's watching?
Probably LA.
I have no idea what's happening.
Doesn't matter.
How many layers deep are we?
They're having a
Streamers going through mitosis. That's funny. I forget, mitosis is like multiplying, right?
Probably do it in either Vegas or LA. We'll probably
Golden cockroach is Reese Golden Reese is golden cockroach.
How many layers deep are we?
They're having a real-time conversation via clips.
This is how you communicate in 2025 now.
This is high-level streaming, if I'm being real. And they're not even on the same platform.
I would, yeah, I'd be down for it. I've got to figure out if you got to figure out categories.
Anyway, et cetera, et cetera. He goes on to just basically acknowledge that they are potentially planning something that would be in competition with QTCinderella's event. So QTCinderella responds to this on Twitter, presumably because a lot of people were probably hitting her up, being like, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? So she wants to make a comment on it, and here's what she said. People ask me my opinion on this, and to be honest, there are a ton of categories they could do that I think would make the show unique and special. People ask me every year to do the drama categories, like best breakup, best cancellation, best drama, etc. I actually think they could lean into that and make something incredibly entertaining that neither of them are afraid of doing. In other words, I don't see it as competition because I know they would make a unique product. In other words, when I read this, I go, this was an extraordinarily classy response.
Yeah, I mean, she's obvious. She's being beyond classy. She's trying to be helpful, which I don't know how many people would be that when knowing that someone's trying to make a competitor to one of their things that they do. I mean, she's just saying, yeah, they could do this, this, and this. I could see how there's a world where both of our products can live. You know what I mean? I don't. Seems fine to me. I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's very classy. And also a message to QTCinderella that if that does sound good to you, there is an award show.
Yeah,
the
that
Streamies
exists with all of those categories.
What am I, chopped liver?
It's called the Steamies, baby.
Oh, Steamies.
You know, and we out here steaming it up.
You guys haven't been doing Steamies for a year.
And we
two
got
now.
invited to the actual Streamies where they intimidated us. They intentionally rigged our nomination, right?
No, they were very nice and they provided us with a great meal and it was a good time.
I remember just walking out of there upset.
We left. That's all I remember. I think they kicked us out. I don't remember.
We don't know. There is this event called the Streamies that gets done every year, and they made a joke award show called the Steamies, which they did a couple of years ago at some live venues, and it was pretty popular. It was I thought they did a good job with that. Why am I right underneath his face? Move. Chaz, get out the way. Get out the way, Chaz. Get out the way.
Like, get out of here,
Multiverse
losers.
is expanding,
you
said
leave.
Skylar.
Well, who did I lose to? Jay Shetty for the 10th time?
That's right.
But anyway, being extraordinarily classy and doing kind of the world is
now
wide
he's
enough
back
for
over
all of
here.
us, which is
Dang
true,
it.
right? there's two ways you can take this. You could be extremely insecure and cagey.
No, I
and
can't.
be like, they're
All right,
stealing my
don't-
shit.
don't worry
Fuck
about it.
them. I wish them the worst. Or and again, you're not going to stop it from happening. You could be the world is wide enough for all of
I
us.
pressed the wrong thing.
Do your event. I do my event. You know, there's tons of audience. Everybody's going to tune into the one they want.
Same key of E.
Best of luck to you. And I hope you make a great show. Classy all the way. Right? Wouldn't you know it, though? If this response.
Oh, so okay, so I feel like we had the Ludwig part of the drama. Let's see what people start
Was
going after
just
her for.
Way too, I guess, nice to Asmongold and Aiden Ross, who are enemies of the people. They've been branded as enemies of the people. And presumably, I mean, they are both, you know.
Oh, is that so? Is he saying that because Asmongold and Aiden Ross are not friendly with Hasan, that Hasan's community is going to be mad at her for not brutally going after Asmongold and Aiden Ross for wanting to create competition for her show? So she should have went after them harder because Hasan doesn't like them? Is that what's
rightfully branded as such.
going to happen here?
However, she's not endorsing them. She's not, saying, I love them. She's just being classy. There's another show that's going to be made to compete with her show. Anyone who's seen Hamilton the musical knows Burr made the big mistake, Dan, at the end after he kills Alexander Hamilton. And that's when he breaks into the great line of, the world was wide enough for Hamilton and me, Dan. And so he realizes when it's too late that he made the fatal error that ruined his life and killed this great man, Dan.
Yeah, the change of heart that he had, I felt it was very unmotivated and abrupt.
Discuss Hamilton for 10
So anyway,
minutes.
obviously, Hasan's fan is fucking livid about this response. Here she is responding to the, now deleted, by the way, response to the insane amount of shit that was heaped on her. She said, being optimistic equals being a spineless, fence-sitting bitch. Thanks for the heads up, everyone. And obviously, we know who she's addressing. Being optimistic is even like, you're just being nice. You're just being classy. That's it.
Yeah, that's such a crazy...
I actually had this comment because
That's such a crazy thing for the people to come after her for being nice. But because it doesn't suit Hasan, it's like, no, you are in the wrong. You must die. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm telling you, man, I cannot tell you how happy I am to not be a part of whatever is going on that side of the internet, man. Those people are so militant, so easily just convinced to just go after somebody. And I'm like, I like living in, I don't know, I like doing what I'm doing right now, and I don't want to be a part of any of that.
I was feeling bad for her. I thought it's just so fucked up that people are giving her shit for this comment.
I don't want to hate
And
anybody. I don't
just
want to
being
receive
like a
any
smart,
hate.
shrewd
No hate.
business lady. I said, I think I should lay off Cutie. She's in an impossible position no matter what side, quote unquote, you think she's taking. She seems like a very nice person that got unfortunately mixed up in a volatile situation. I would say this is kind of what happens when you're friends with Hasan. But I'll be honest, I was friends with Hasan, and look what it did to me. So, I mean, it happens to all of us, right? Here she is responding to a few people on Twitter. This is just a battlefield with deleted tweets and all kinds of business. But here she says, I'm giving them credit for making different content than me. Since I've spent months of getting shit from people saying that they are, quote, stealing my show and making it better, quote, I don't know. I'm just tired, I guess. Your response was great. So this Hasan fan response, how?
Oh my goodness, this kind of person's coming after her. I can't tell you how much, like, someone bringing the politics into it is just, oh. I've seen the play. It's really good, so I don't blame them. Oh, them going on a side railing for Hamilton. Ethan and a former girl, a part of the show named Olivia Lopes. They had like a camaraderie where they both were big Hamilton friends and would make references and stuff. I don't know what happened. I know what happened with her, but I don't believe she's a part of the show right now, so who knows? I think she's actually away from the show because of this stuff, because of the Hasan people coming after Ethan and his crew so hardcore. But Veronica Rose says, "Oh, brother, yeah, yeah." Someone bringing in Israel Palestine into a convo where they're talking about, she's talking positively about someone who's trying to do something that she's doing is just like, It's like, come on, man. Just like, why do you got to bring this into it? It's like nobody's going to disagree. The problem is that bringing something like this into an argument is, for the most part, the majority of people in the country would not disagree with that sentiment. But like, it's just, why is it necessary to bring it up right now? You know what I mean? It's just, it's not about what the topic is this. It's, you know what I mean? I don't know.
How about we just don't address people who have called for the death of all Palestinians, illegal immigrants, etc.? They don't deserve credit. I mean, she didn't give them credit. She's just acknowledging something that, like, she's just not ignoring reality. There's two very big streamers who are talking about making a competing show, and like she pointed out here, she's hearing this all the time. They're stealing my show and making it better, etc., etc. She's just acknowledging reality, which I know has become a very difficult thing.
It's like somebody you really hate. Imagine the person that you hate the most, walking by you and complimenting your shoes or something. Like, even I'm just imagine, like, again, I know it's a weird, I guess it's a weird analogy I came up with, but it's like somebody you really hate that you know coming up and say, "Hey, I like your shirt." It's like, in the real world, even if somebody you really dislike most likely comes up to you, most of the time you'll be like, "Oh, thanks." Like, your first thought isn't to be like, "F you for that one thing that you did that makes me mad." You know what I mean? It's just like, it's such an unrealistic. It's like, sure, QTCinderella probably doesn't like those guys, but they were just creating something. Like, they're not, I don't know. It's just weird. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the best analogy I could come up with. Someone that you hate, just being like, "Hey, I like your t-shirt." And you being like, "Ew, you said this one thing this one time. No, screw that." No, most likely you'd be like, "Oh, thank you." I don't know. People bring up politics too much these days. Like, see people bringing that up everywhere, no matter the context. So how those people function in real life. Well, I'll tell you, they most likely don't go around saying that in random conversations, just bringing up that topic. It's so strange to gatekeep a concept like an award show. Like, what are we, Nintendo? Says Veronica. It must be very boring if they talk about politics in conversations that we're never a part of. Yeah. I tell you, I typically don't like talking politics unless it's with somebody that I feel like, um, I don't know, I won't get into it, but like, I typically like talking politics with people that I feel like are at least understanding. You know what I mean? I really, most of my close friends and people I talk to are not like, let's be honest, I live in Florida. Most of the people here are not like libbed up. So like, so the fact that I typically lean a little bit more Democrat, you would think like I'm not surrounded by like-minded people all that much, but like, I don't know. But I have the friends I have are the friends I have. You know, they disagree with me on things, and I sometimes disagree with them. But then like, we kind of typically talk about it and then move on. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. By the post IG shows me that you like, I can tell we have similar views, says Lencho. Yeah, again, like I'm a little libbed up, but like, I mean, I have, most of my friends are conservative, so like, I don't know. I have an aunt who is like that. Let's just say most of the family doesn't like her much. Her kids are cool though, says Odin is salty. Yeah, I don't like letting your political views and stances kind of ruin your relationships with people, simply because most people don't have a say or control on how the world works. So to me, it doesn't make sense to allow your relationship with somebody deteriorate because neither of you have control or can dictate how things function. It's like this person and this, or maybe not that, that's a strong subject, but it's like someone being like, I hate your stance on gun control. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, sure, you may not like their stance on gun control, but they don't control how gun control works or whether there is any or not. So it's like, what, I don't know. Yeah, it can be an open conversation if the person is willing to hear you, but most of the internet just wants to be right. Fair enough, yeah. All right, back to the
For
subject.
Hasan and his audience to do. Cutie responds, so what we don't do here is reach. If you followed me, you know what I stand for. If I comment on someone else's content, that has never meant that I condone what they say or do, obviously. If you truly think that because I said that we make two different types of content, that means I am a racist and enjoy racist, edgy jokes and comments. Unfollow me because you've never really followed me to begin with, if that's what you think. And that goes to everyone reading this. So the playbook is complete. QTCinderella is now being accused of being racist for acknowledging their existence, essentially. They responded, I've watched your content for years. I obviously don't think you're a racist Nazi. Why is that even something to utter in response to what she said?
And it's so funny, this person saying, oh, I don't think you're a racist Nazi. And then saying all this crazy stuff. And then this person's profile picture is a little kitty cat with a hat on its on the side of its head. Like, come on. That shouldn't be your profile picture. Your profile picture should be like I don't know, the color red or something. Should be an angry cat.
But I don't know why you give the light of day to those people. She didn't. That's not what she did. If you think your post is just a quote comment that's harmless, then why is Asmongold commenting thanks for the support? This is just a privilege talk.
Oh my
This
God.
is just privilege talking? What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking
They're just
about?
being classy. She was classy and he said thanks. That's really nice of you to be classy. And these people are like, Nazis!
Well, they're also
privilege!
They're also they're falling for the bait completely. Why is Asmongold commenting thanks for the support with the smiley face? Because he's trolling her. Because he's
It
an
could be
asshole.
that too.
Like, obviously.
That's a good
Why is
point.
that her fault? That he's trolling her.
Very good point you make there.
I try to be honest.
He tries to be honest though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, look at this. Queen. She made the same point. I didn't even know.
Exactly. So she goes, so you're using his response
Yeah, or
against
like
me,
mine,
not what
absolute
I said
peaks is
myself.
front of
You also seem to
gross.
lack nuance and like to fight hate with hate. No need to unfollow. I'll block. Now, QTCinderella, I will
Go
point out
off,
that
girl. There you go.
this is your podcast co-host's audience, and this is what they do. And again, it's one thing to understand that, and then to be on the receiving end of it and understanding it in that way. It's different, right? I worked with this guy for 2 years.
And it is funny how, like, hate to bring Ethan or H3 into this, but like H3 went through all of this stuff a couple of years ago again, where he firsthand saw how militant and quickly Hasan's community can turn on you and how hardcore they go after you. And it's just funny to see people who are associated with Hasan, like Ethan, are starting to have to go through this. And it's like Ethan was calling this out a while ago.
And so I know exactly what it is like. She continues, Jesus Christ, people, yes, I'm expecting to shut up and take bullying from thousands of people and never say my piece. Same, girl. I clearly don't agree with things that either of them said. Completely irrelevant, and you definitely don't need to say that. The internet is so fucking exhausting. No, you're right. It says show more. I can't click it, but I kind of know what she was saying. Since I addressed them doing a show in competition with mine, then I'm a racist Nazi, which is kind of the insinuation, right? Continues. Am I working with them or am I responding to shit I've been tagged in thousands of times and taking a clear high road? Exactly what you're doing, Queen. The Q stands for queen, okay? You were a princess, now you're a queen.
Wow. Wait, Cinderella wasn't a princess. I just realized.
She becomes a princess, doesn't she?
Right, but she
marries a
starts
prince.
as just like a common folk.
I would
doesn't
never
she?
say that about her though.
Right.
Well, she marries a prince.
Yeah, that's my point.
We're all saying the same thing here, guys.
She was a princess and now she's a queen.
I thought she put the shoe on and that makes her a princess.
Once a princess, always a princess. Dan is splitting hairs because he hates royalty.
To me, all
It's
girls are
true.
princesses.
It's true. I've been called out. I've been exposed.
QTCinderella responds, you spent the whole day retweeting Ludwig drama slop, which is also a harassment campaign, so congrats on those efforts. However correct I am, not worried about them doing a show different than mine. Why would I be? The question hasn't been, are you worried about their racist comments? Because I would have had a different answer to that, don't you think? And yes, of course, obviously, right? And I find it interesting she refers to what...
All right, I think we're good here. So let's move on to the next vid. So last vid. This is definitely the last vid. We've been on for a while. Let's see. Odin Salty says, not going to lie, it feels good taking some time off the internet. I mean, I guess I can see that. Again, I've never taken a time off the internet. I mean, I love being on the internet. I wouldn't be doing this, if I didn't enjoy what I'm doing here. But I feel like if you're gonna be on the internet and be terminally online, you have to be able to separate the real world from the online world. How things operate and function here are not how the real world operates. It's as I was saying before. Like, I've got friends of many different personalities and opinions and politics, and we're all friendly. We all get along. You know what I mean? How people communicate to each other in a Facebook comment feed is not, thread or whatever, is not how people talk in real life. It just isn't. You know. I know it's not easy to think that because social media has gotten so good to it's gotten so good at convincing people that their feed is what's happening in the real world, and unfortunately it ain't. You know, I hate to break it to you. I mean, I think the internet's fine, and if you enjoy it like me, and I love being on here and talking to you guys and stuff, but like, you know, how people are in real life is a little bit different, you know. It's almost like it's called the real world. Shout out Real World. I don't know. I've never watched the Real World. I take too much time off the internet because of how busy I am, says Reese. Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't blame anyone for doing that. I've never taken a break. I don't know. I like being a part of the internet. I like watching these drama videos and seeing where all the tea and drama is, and that's it.
Guys are here. So it appears that the nightmare.
Oh, so shout out to Rev says Desu. Hasan fans crash out after Ludwig betrays him. So we're gonna watch this one and shout out, give you a like, make you full screen, make sure you're on screen. Where are you at? Window. There you go. We got a nice VTuber here. Yay, VTuber.
For Hasan Piker.
The second time we're talking about VTubers.
Is continuing because now even some of his most perceived defenders are turning on him live in front of their audiences. Now, of course, this all stems back to what else but Collargate, a term used to refer to an ongoing situation where Hasan is facing criticism for his treatment of his dog Kaya live on Twitch. We are at, I believe, day 15.
Ona Salty says, I like the internet. Guess it's more of social media that I have an issue with sometimes. I like YouTube, though, for the most part. Instagram is what I used to watch funny shorts and also send to my friends. I mean, that's, to be fair, that's basically all I use now is YouTube and Instagram. TikTok, I'm not super on. I just use that to share my shorts. I'm on Red Note, technically, but I only share my shorts on there as well. Facebook, I don't really post a heck of a whole lot on. Occasionally, I'll post something sports or video game related. Yeah, I would say YouTube and Instagram is where the best place to reach me is.
Of the situation, which is really insane because this thing just keeps dragging on and on for really 3 reasons. Number 1, Hasan won't stop talking about it. Number 2, his community won't stop talking about it and harassing other content creators for talking about it or not talking about it. And also because there's endless clips that keep resurfacing over and over again, suggesting that this is a pattern of behavior for him. And despite his best efforts to send his orbiters and his community after people pointing out these patterns of behavior, and despite the puff pieces made by journalists trying to prop him up, and despite live stream fails and other popular subreddits removing clips showing, for example, a time where his dog had an open wound on its neck because they believe it's old news, despite all of this, it's just not enough. Despite his efforts, his very concerted efforts to flush this controversy, he's only seemingly making it worse. Now, people are still rallying behind this whole thing, including people like XQC's community, who stream sniped him to scream, "Free Kaya." Yeah, you can't stop the movement, but there's an interesting development here with a different content creator, someone nobody expected, and that's Ludwig. Now, this meme is atrocious, okay, but I
thought this VTuber was a girl until hearing that it is a man, says Reese. It could be a femboy. You never know. Listen, how dare you, Reese, assume that's a girl? It could be a femboy. Could be. All right, maybe I'm messing around too much.
See it all the time.
I wonder if that is actually supposed to be a femboy. It is weird. Well, it's not weird. I take that back. It's interesting. There.
People made this because they believe that essentially Ludwig is on a leash with Hasan. Hasan controls his actions and will
That's a pretty funny
discipline
meme.
him whenever he steps out of line and criticizes something Hasan
The edit
has done.
isn't incredible,
Many people
but
are
it's
believing
decent.
he might have broken free of these chains, and he's now off leash. So many dog puns. But yeah, a lot of people are looking at a recent stream
Fair
where
enough,
Ludwig
Haas,
pretty much made it clear he doesn't like Hasan. In fact, he claims he's not his friend. And as soon as his streaming career is done, he, like 95%
I
of the
am
other
being
people
honest though.
associated-
Is that supposed to be a femboy or is it supposed to be a girl? I feel like it's supposed to be a femboy because why wouldn't you just choose a male VTube character, right? If you weren't intentional, maybe I'm thinking too deeply on this. This is not something I need to.
will no
think
longer
about.
be someone he wants to talk to. And he also talked about why all this began the last 18 months, where a lot of people are calling him a
Bad,
Hasan
ChazmaN.
defender,
You're
and
going
a lot
off
of
on a
people from
tangent.
Hasan's community are simultaneously saying that he's a Hasan hater.
So I uploaded a video that talked about really not much. It was a filler video, but Hasan saying that streaming is
so it's
harder than
him
a 9 to 5.
talking about the
I
same.
poked fun at Hasan, and then I went on to do a sponsored ad read. I forget for what sponsor. And then filled up some bullshit.
So
Called
let
it
me
a
go
day,
ahead and
made
skip
some money.
ahead because we
Easy
watched all
gig.
this.
Has been with me for 18 months.
We
Bitch
did
move,
watch. We did
maybe,
watch all this
but I
already.
also don't care to die on the hill.
Odin Salty says, as much as I see people making fun of them, the femboys and furries are getting powerful, says Odin. Oh no, they're transforming. I think it was originally inspired from an anime character, but again, I'm not sure.
So yeah, that's pretty much the basis of this entire thing.
If I chose a VTuber character, it would just be Toguro from like Yu Yu Hakusho. That's who my anime character would be. Although that would be copyright, maybe. I wouldn't care. I'd choose Toguro. My boy. The real hero of Yu Yu.
Involving Ludwig and Hasan. 18 months ago, he makes a video where he takes a very small shot at Hasan, basically saying Hasan's comments about a 9 to 5 being easier than streaming is a bit ridiculous. And it's funny, too, hearing that from Hasan, you know, the leader of the working class over here, calling his streaming job harder. Of course, there's unique challenges with streaming, but you're not going to reach the average Joe with that sort of comment. But he took that small shot. Hasan did not like it one bit. He talked about it on stream. Ludwig gets brigaded. He gets scared for his sponsors and then pulls the video. And then 18 months ensue of nonstop brigading from Hasan's community, which is not surprising at all. But going further into one of these recent streams, Ludwig has made it clear he believes, in reference to Collargate, that Hasan 100% used a shock collar.
I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant, genuinely pathetic.
So as I was stating earlier in the video, it appears that Ludwig is off the leash. He is biting back against Hasan. In the context he provided there, just to make it very clear, this whole
To
thing,
be fair,
this
if you
whole
can be anything you
ordeal over
wanted
the
as a
past 18
VTuber,
months
why not
began with a
choose to
video
be
where
anything
he
you
made a
wanted, says
comment
Veronica.
poking
Fair
fun
enough.
at Hasan, saying streaming is harder than a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah,
which is
now it would
really
be
ironic coming
Toguro.
from Hasan, you know, the guy who's representing the working
Toguro's
class,
cool.
so to speak. But that led to 18 months of really two types of people getting angry. People were calling Ludwig spineless for deleting the video, and then Hasan fans were very angry. So he kind of made a lot of different camps angry with that decision. He claims it wasn't because of Hasan reaching out to him personally. This was just something because
I'd
of
either
the
want to be
reaction and the
Toguro
brigading from his community,
or Piccolo.
and also because he was worried about upsetting sponsors. But as a result
Piccolo
of this
for a
clip right here, a
VTuber.
lot of people are saying, wow, W Ludwig for stepping out against Hasan. You can see the comments on this post sharing the clip. Very positive. Another one turning on Hasan.
there's Nux
Let's
Taku?
up those numbers.
What the
Ludwig's
heck?
spine grew 3 vertebrae that day. W Jellywig.
Oh my goodness,
Ludwig.
hold on. Look at these names. Nux Taku, which that guy got canceled. Who knows what happened with that guy? He's a VTuber too. Tectone kind of sucks. And then you got Dan Saltman. Look at these people. Now this is the, I hate to say it, this is the people that like, this is the total opposite of the spectrum, where like, I don't like any of these people that are here. So like, it's like weird. It's like, so Ludwig says one thing that ticks off the people that, what is it? Oh, Ludwig says one thing that ticks off the fans of Hasan and kind of ruins his relationship with that audience. And then once that happens, in my opinion, these people like this group are on the far other side, where these are people that I want. These are people that I also want nothing to do with. So it's really weird that like you have these people supporting Ludwig now and saying W Ludwig, and it's like, oh gosh, I don't want nothing to do with these people either. It's just so funny to see how like people are trying on both sides to like take advantage of like of ruining things for Hasan, or you know what I mean, or for Ludwig. And it's like I guess you can't really win, like, because again, like, not saying that like these people liked your post, whatever. If I was Ludwig, I'd be like whatever. But like the fact that these people are trying to like wedge their way in, you know, to try and further the rift between Hasan and Ludwig, that's clearly what these people are doing. They're like, oh, I'm gonna say W Ludwig so that we can create more drama or something. And it's like, again, I don't know anything about some of these guys, but like as far as I know, Nux Taku and Tectone are like those people. I don't want anything to do with them. Oh God, not Nux Taku, said Skylar. Well, the Nux Taku thing is so weird. Like, I liked him. He had a podcast with what's his name? Indian guy. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. He had like a video game podcast with Some Ordinary Gamer. I can't remember his name. Some Ordinary Gamer, he had a podcast with Nux Taku that I watched a few times. I actually liked their show. And then, yeah, he got like mega canceled for something. I don't know if it was sexual assault or I don't know. I don't remember if it was like something crazy like that or lolly or I don't know. Again, I don't know for sure anything. But and the guy Tectone, he's just a flat out douchebag. Like, that's not somebody I want to associate with like at all. But here I am burning bridges.
Grew 3 vertebrae that day. W. Jellywig. Ludwig. And then this image that's been making the rounds. Ludwig turns on Hasan. The rats are eating each other.
Mudahar. I just thought of the name. Yeah, Mudahar he had a podcast with Nux Taku.
Love this. So at least
where they talked about
some
video
encouragement,
games or
even some
something.
positive comments. People saying, hey, at least you finally spoke out against this guy that many people believed Ludwig was a defender of, to the point of deleting his own videos that criticized him. But guess who's not happy? Hasan's community. They are very upset about what's going on here. And here's this giant board of comments here. Let's just read a few. Him screwing over his own girlfriend's career for this, by the way. But because in case you forgot, QTCinderella is part of the Fear and Pod with Hasan. So, in case you didn't know, Ludwig is dating QTCinderella, who also got involved in this because she made comments about Collargate, and that was a whole mess. But basically, as you can see, apparently if you speak out or have an opinion that is critical of Hasan, you've ruined your career in the LA streaming scene, which is a very sad thing. I don't think this is the W this person thinks it is. This next one says, did you see he apologized to effing Destiny for being mad at him after what he said about QT? The next one says, Ludwig probably hates Hasan because he spends more time with his girlfriend than he does.
That's a weird thing
As you'll
to
see with
say.
like a lot of these, there's no actual criticism. There's no comments about why he's wrong for saying it's a shock collar. There won't be one single defense of that. Instead, it's just personal attacks on Ludwig.
Ludwig hates
Gutless,
Hasan because he spends
Jacobian-
more time with his girlfriend, LMAO. That's such a weird avenue to go there. Ludwig would kill a guy just to avoid losing his sponsor, saying, I wouldn't even go to Hasan's funeral. I don't get what the point you're trying to make is. This guy is friends with a dude who made AI. Okay, that's that same person from before. Now all of a sudden, this dude is like the least liked person in the world because he
Ludwig would
went
kill
against
a guy
Hasan
just to
for a
avoid
minute.
losing his sponsor, saying I wouldn't even go to Hasan's funeral is crazy. Well, he said he's not friends with Hasan, and he also said he will no longer associate with 95% of the people he currently does the second his career is over. You can think he's a jerk for saying that, but at least he's honest. Why would he do something like that for someone he's not friends with even now? He's not even pretending to be friends with him right now. For someone who has a degree in journalism, he is not very good at fact-checking. Okay, Hasan Defender.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Hasan Defender would...
Yeah, it's very funny for someone to criticize being a fan of Hasan, but then criticize someone else for not looking at facts. It's like when Hasan is like, again, I've criticized him before, but like he's the most like my reality is the reality type person that you could think of. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Degree in journalism knows about fact-checking. That seems immediately ironic. This after Ludwig said Hasan definitely owns a shock collar and that he would not call Hasan a friend, and also implied that socialism is when you don't make money.
All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm going to call it there. So that is Rev Says Desu. Thank you so much, Rev. Oh, you got a lot of subscribers. Almost 750 or over 750. Nice. Let's get the music. Where's the music back? Do. All right, y'all. Well, holy crap. That is by far the longest ChazmaN live I've done to date. Almost 5 hours. Goodness. Man, we really went through it all, didn't we?
Well, well. Looks like you've reached the end, haven't you? You imbeciles. On Enter ChazmaN, you'll witness gaming brilliance beyond your comprehension. ChazmaN Live brings the drama. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. EST. Longplays delivers full journeys, uncut and unspoiled. Join the Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok below, if you can manage it. Still not following Enter ChazmaN? Then mediocrity clearly suits you.